A body has been found in the rubble of an exploded townhouse in Sydney's west. A woman aged in her 30s had been missing since Saturday's explosion in Whalan. The search was called off early this morning.
Multiple investigations are underway into the explosion, with some residents telling the ABC they had smelled gas there for weeks. Jessica Rendell is at the scene for us. Jess, good morning. This is a devastating end to this search. When did the authorities find the woman's body?
Well, some absolutely heartbreaking news to wake up to this morning, Lisa. After 2 nights of carefully combing through the rubble, rescuers made the discovery that they were so desperately hoping not to. At 3:20 this morning, the body of a woman was found underneath the rubble and debris of this exploded townhouse. They had been searching through this rubble for days, and there were hopes of finding this woman alive. She's yet to be formally identified, but authorities did say that they were searching for a woman in her 30s who was unaccounted for and lived at this property. Now, this was an extensive search effort. We had expert rescue teams here who had previously worked on the earthquakes in Turkey. They were here combing through the rubble of this exploded townhouse, working alongside expert engineers, sniffer dogs and specialist equipment, heat and noise detection equipment too, here at this property. Now, 5 other people were saved from the debris of this property. 2 elderly women were rescued. 3 other people were also taken to hospital. They were all treated for their injuries and have since been released. Now, they've been taken to temporary accommodation where they will be staying until all of this can be cleaned up. And no doubt, we're unsure if this will all be able to be rebuilt in the future, but it's quite some heartbreaking news to wake up to, Lisa.
Yes, the search over, but the investigation no doubt only just beginning, Jess, because we understand that residents had raised concerns about smelling gas leading up to this explosion. How long had they been smelling it for?
Well, we're hearing that it was up to a year prior to this explosion that residents had been raising the alarm about the smell of gas coming from a faulty meter. Now, in the months leading up to this explosion, there were several maintenance checks that were conducted after residents had raised that alarm, and faulty parts were fixed. Now, the state's housing minister, this is a social housing property in this area here, and it's owned by the government, and the state's housing minister has announced an investigation into this fatal incident, Lisa.